Three, two, one.
Hello, you're watching CGG TV. My name is Lisa and this is Julie and we're from the Geraldton Yoga Club. We're here to run you through a short little yoga tutorial, running you through one really nice pose called pigeon pose. It's a beautiful hip opener, a little bit of a back bend, really nice and juicy to get into your hips. So starting off, we're going to start this position on our hands and knees. We're going to run you through 2 or 3 different options depending on your skill level. So the first option, we're going to pick up our right leg, bring it forward with your knee towards your wrist and bring that right knee forward. Then we're going to bend that left knee, so we're sitting at a 90-degree angle. So this is a beautiful one for if you're just starting and your hips aren't as open. From here, we can stay here in this position, otherwise we can slowly walk our hands forward. As we walk our hands forward, we feel that stretch down our glute, and it's a beautiful one to open up your hips. Depending on your flexibility will depend on how forward you walk your hands. We then like to hold this pose for a certain amount of breaths, depending on you and your practice. It's a beautiful way to slowly let go and release. We're going to slowly walk our hands back up, nice and slowly, taking your time. To get out of this pose, we're going to bring that right hip, slowly bring that right foot back a little bit, pushing up with your hands to come back onto our hands and knees. The next option for this pose is to start again on our hands and knees and pick up our right leg. We're going to send that right leg to the back and then bend our right knee, bringing our knee forward again for our knee to touch our wrist and slowly sinking forward onto our forward. And then we're going to send that left leg all the way down to the back of the room. So the inching the foot back. We're making sure here that we're sitting up nice and tall in our hips and we're not slouching onto that right hip. We're up nice and tall. If you have a little extra space underneath that hip, you can place a block underneath that hip for a little bit of extra lift. From here, we can stay here. This is still nice and opening for your hips. Otherwise, we can slowly walk our hands forward, taking it nice and slow till you feel that stretch. You can come down to your forearms. You can use a block. You can place a block underneath your hand. You can place a block down so you can rest your head down. Again, we take our time, listen to our body and connect to our breath. It's a beautiful time to reflect on your day, reflect on your mood and really recenter yourself. It's opening up our hips, so it's giving us a nice stretch down our right glute and then also a nice stretch down our left thigh. After a couple of breaths, you're going to slowly inhale, nice and slowly walk your hands back up towards you, taking your time. And slowly push yourself back up. And I always like to take a moment here to recenter. And then slowly we need to use our hands. We can slowly walk our left foot forward, bring our knee forward, sending that right leg back and coming back into our hands and knees. Then our next option to come into this pose is starting from a downward facing dog. So moving our props out of the way, we're going to pull back into our downward facing dog. So option 1 is just bend forward and bring that right knee forward. Otherwise, option 2 is come back in your downward dog and inhale and raise that right leg to the sky. And then from there, we're going to bend our right knee and bring our hips forward, bring that right knee forward with your right knee to your right wrist. And again, slowly dropping your body in, sliding that left foot back. The option here is to then bend our right knee and inch our right foot forward. The more you bring that right foot forward, so creating a straight with the front of the mat, the more intense and deep the stretch will be. So again, just go with your practice. And the options then stay the same. We're making sure we're not slouching into that right hip. We're still staying nice and tall. Then from here, we slowly walk our hands forward. Really taking your time, not going too deep, too quick, because that's when injury will occur. Connecting back to our breath, connecting back to our moment, and recentering ourselves. Taking a nice deep breath in, Opening your mouth, exhale, let it go. And slowly, after a couple of breaths, after you really feel that nice deep stretch, we're going to walk our hands back up to us, with our hands underneath our shoulders, and push ourselves back up. We're then going to use our muscles in our hand to bring our right foot back, our left foot forward, and bring ourselves back into a downward facing dog, taking as many extra positions as you need. It might be nice again to then stretch that right leg back up to the sky to feel that blood flow and really open up that hip and then bring it back down to the ground. Remembering with our pigeon pose, we like to take it slow. Listen to our body, reconnect to our breath, and give ourselves some time. So that's it for us for our pigeon pose. Hope you find that helpful and really get that back into your practice. So if you want to tune in to us, we are doing our live stream in Geraldton Yoga Club on our Facebook page every Wednesday afternoon at 5:30. You'll see myself, Julie, and our other yoga teachers there. Thank you very much.